What's up, everybody? It's Pallet Town Smeargle here. Today, coming at you, I'm going to give a little post-commentary on this battle I had about, a little bit over a month ago. Just because I haven't been able to get any tonight. I tried to get a battle with a guy on Passerby, but we DC'd about 27 times. So, I decided to just go through my versus recorder and find something, because I want to put something up for tomorrow. So, here we go. We got my team. We have Volcarona. It's a Quiver Dance, Max HP, Giga Drain, Bug Buzz, Fiery Dance set. A Zapdos with, it's a mixed attacker, max speed, max special attack with a speed boosting nature, with the other 4 EVs in attack. That's so I can use U-turn and not Volt Switch and swap on out, and I think that actually is relevant here on that Gliscor, but I'm not 100% sure. Then, Kimber for this, and then my Dragonite, Diggersby, Starmie to spin away those rocks, and Mega Steelix, just because I wanted to use it, so that's what I did. So let's go ahead and jump on in to this battle here. I'm going to hit that start button, and here we go. Alright, Nick is issuing the challenge, and so I lead off with my Mothra here, thinking, I don't really know what, but just in case his Gliscor wanted to come out and have rocks, then I wanted this thing in early, because the only way I'm going to win with it is to set up. And we actually dodged the first turn Toxic, which, I mean, that's just bad luck on my opponent's part, and, that actually matters a lot here, because I'm able to set up with my first Quiver Dance and not really have to worry about it. Set up a second one here, and I'm pretty sure my opponent goes for another Toxic. He just goes straight for the knockoff here, sorry. Might be a little bit ahead of myself. So he knocks off my leftovers, which is kind of crucial. So I just go for that +2 Giga Drain, because I know this thing, try to get my health back now that leftovers are gone. I've got to be able to get my health back, because I know this thing wants to just Toxic stall me out. So right here, I think I know he's going to protect here. I mean, that's generally what these things do. They protect, get their poison heal off. So he does go ahead and go for the protect, and I go ahead and go for a Quiver Dance here, knowing that he's going to... Nope, I go for Giga Drain. Sorry about that. I thought I actually predicted that better. That was a bit of a misplay on my part. I definitely should have gone for the Quiver Dance there and set up one more time and just predicted that, but I know one more Giga Drain is going to kill him, so right here he goes on the switch and goes out to the Noivern. Oh, nice and shiny. I forgot that thing was shiny. So yeah, we hit this thing with a resisted ×4 Giga Drain, which wasn't very good, and that Toxic damage is starting to rack up a little bit on us, but so I was starting to get a little worried about this, so I swap out and get rid of all those +2s, which is not that great, but go out into Starmie here, because I know I've got Ice Beam on this thing, and here he goes for Flamethrower. I was really curious as to what he thought I was going to do, because that would have been just a normal hit, wouldn't have been resisted because of the fire or anything, and it wouldn't have been super effective on the bug. So he goes out to Scizor here, and I just go straight up for the Side Shock, which is a bit of a misplay on my part. I should have kind of expected this thing to come in, because it's able to eat that Side Shock up pretty well, because it does hit on the defensive side, as we all kind of know. And so I get a little leftovers recovery, and then swap on out to my Steelix. I figure this is as good a time as any to come in and set up Stealth Rock or go for an Earthquake on this thing, kind of scare it out. He goes ahead and Mega Evolves into that big old yellow Clamps over there, and then goes for X Scissor, which is kind of nice because we resist that a little bit, being a Steel type and being max defense, max HP. We take less than 10% off that. And he goes back out to the Noivern. I know this thing wants to go for Flamethrower, so right here we go ahead and we Mega Evolve. And just go for our Stealth Rocks. Sorry, yeah, I kind of forgot what I did. It's been, like I said, it's been about a month and a half, almost 2 months since I watched this video. And he goes for the Flamethrower. I'm not really sure why. I stayed in here, but I actually was able to eat this up. I go for the Stone Edge on the Noivern here, which just go ahead and catch that, and that puts that within death range of swapping out. So I know he can't really swap that thing out into anything. So I go back out into Mothra here, predicting another flamethrower, which he does go for, and I'm able to kind of eat that up a little bit, not as well as I actually thought. And then with the toxic damage, that doesn't do me much good. So he goes for another flamethrower here, and picks up the KO on Mothra. I just kind of stayed in to sack this thing off, so there wasn't much else. I can't really set up with it. And I go out to Diggersby, my nice and shiny Bugs Bunny Diggersby here, thinking I can probably outspeed this thing. And he switches out, which means he's pretty much done with this Noivern. And he switches out to Gliscor, which takes some Stealth Rock damage as I go ahead and go for the Quick Attack, just to see if I can make sure I outspeed. That Quick Attack does a lot of damage, and he's going to go ahead and get his Poison Heal here. I swap out. That's a Choice Banded Diggersby, just all in for it. So I go out to Grills here, predicting a Toxic, but he goes for the Knockoff, which is actually going to knock out. No, it does not, because he's not knocking off an item, but Knockoff does put Grills within death range, and I know he's going to protect here, because he just wants to get as much HP back as possible. And I go for Explosion, which, yeah, hindsight being 2020, I should have just wasted the turn of Protect and gone for another Stealth Rock or something. But I wasn't going to be outspeeding this thing, so I kind of just wanted to sack it off. Which, I mean, either way, he was kind of death fodder at that point, so it didn't really matter. And so I go out here to Zapdos, just to kind of see what he wants to do here. And he withdraws his Gliscor and sends out his Sylveon. I'm not actually sure why this thing came out. Maybe because it's max special defense or something like that. He goes and takes his Stealth Rock damage. I go for Hidden Power Ice on this thing, because pretty much would have just been, just would have destroyed that Gliscor and all his hopes and dreams. But that does it more than I would have thought to the Sylveon. And since I'm Choice Scarf, I have to go ahead and switch out here because there's not much I want to do to this thing. And I go back out into Starmie. And he goes for a Wish, so I'm kind of frustrated at this point because I'm thinking, man, he's got the Protect Stall Gliscor, the Wish Protect Sylveon, so I'm not really sure whether he wants to actually pass off the Wish or if he's going to go ahead and set up and protect and try to get that little bit of HP back. So I just go for the Scald here, kind of hoping for a burn, get residual damage on this thing, but I don't get it, and he goes for Hyper Voice and almost destroys my Starmie, which isn't very good here. So his wish comes true, which, just puts this thing back at full HP. I get a little bit with leftovers, and I decided to go for a Side Shot, hit this thing on the other defense side. Does about 40%, and he just goes and finishes me off with the Hyper Voice here. He gets some more leftovers recovering. This thing's starting to be a pain in my butt, so I just got to Diggersby. Figure I can hit this thing with the Quick Attack or a turn, even an Earthquake, but that switch into the Gliscor is always imminent. So he does actually go out to his Gliscor here, predicting an Earthquake from me, which I don't actually think I end up going for. I go for the return, Max Happiness. Diggersby, just reaches all the way back and slaps this thing down to 1 HP, and he's able to live and get Protect and more health back up. This thing is becoming the biggest nuisance. Between this and the Sylveon, I'm just getting extremely, extremely frustrated here. So I go for another return, and I'm pretty sure this is just enough to take it out, and it is. And I think he kind of knew that. Here, Choice Banded return from Diggersby is ridiculous. So he goes out to Scizor, and I'm racking up a little bit of incremental damage here. So I obviously have to save this thing for the Sylveon. So we get up out and go out into Zapdos because we are packing the Heat Wave, and that's gonna be nice against this Scizor here, provided we can hit. So he goes for Swords Dance and sets up. And at this point, I'm actually getting a little frightened because a +2 Mega Scizor is nothing to be you know, nothing to shake a stick at. So he goes for +2 bullet punch. That does quite a bit, but as we do resist that, I go for the heat wave and knock this thing right on out. Which I'm not really sure why he stayed in. I wouldn't have stayed in, but he did, and that's alright. So he goes to Sylveon here, as he kind of did last time when Zapdos was in. I was actually kind of expecting him to do that before, but I had to go for the heat wave because he did set up, and I figured he didn't want to risk it. So we go ahead for the heat wave here, and it does a lot to that Sylveon. He goes ahead and set up a wish, but unless he's packing protect, which we haven't seen up until this point, him go ahead and want to use it. He was, you know, I go ahead and switch, just predicting the protect, because why else would you pack wish on something if you don't bring protect along with it to get your health back? So I swap on out to Diggersby because I know that's pretty much my check for this thing. And he goes for Calm Mind. So right about now I'm starting to think he actually doesn't have the protect to be able to benefit from that. So I'm kind of wishing I had just gone for Thunderbolt, because we would have outsped and just took this thing down. And yeah, whatever he switched in, I'm not sure if they would have gotten the wish recovery from that, but we reach on back and slap this thing across the face with the biggest return possible and knock it down to 1 HP. Diggersby gets one-shotted by Hyper Voice. This guy's been pretty lucky at living on 1 HP with Diggersby returns. I'm starting to think that Diggersby thinks return is false swipe or something. So here I go on to Tiny Wings, which is my specially defensive Dragon Dance weakness policy, extreme speed set with Dragon Claw and Roost. So he goes up to the Honchkrow, and I'm not sure if this thing has foul play. So I go ahead and set up a Dragon Dance anyways, because I can't remember if I'm getting this thing confused with like Mandibuzz, you know, that other Dark Flying type. So I get set up here, and he actually goes ahead and puts in a substitute. So I really don't know what substitute Honchkrow wants to do, so I go ahead and get a second D-Dance up, just thinking like, okay, he can sit behind the sub, I'll just break this thing with an extreme speed and then bop him with another one. So he goes ahead and Brave Birds, which is going to give him some recoil damage, which is kind of nice, and he hits me with my multi-scale, takes my multi-scale down, and, you know, gets a little bit of recoil. And I go ahead and just Dragon Claw away the substitute. And hindsight being 2020, I think I should have roosted there, and just gotten back up, and I could have just roost stalled him out because his Brave Bird would have kept chunking down his health, and I could have just kept roosting back up. But he actually gets a crit here and takes me down to 11, which I'm able to just extreme speed him to death. But like I said, I really wish I had gone and just roost stalled him with the recoil. We could have at least, you know, got him down to a fair amount of HP and seen what kind of moves he wanted to bring. So this is my Melodic here, and I'm afraid this thing's got Ice Beam, but I roost up just to see if I can live in Ice Beam and see if he'll trip my weakness policy. So I'll pretty much be the game in the bag here. So I get up over half, and he goes for Scald. So I've got my fingers crossed hoping we don't get a burn, and we don't, which is really nice. When I was battling this, I can remember distinctly just like tensing up when I saw Scald, because I have the worst luck with getting secondary hacks, and he actually has a Confuse Ray Milotic, so I'm like, oh crap. I'm +2 attack. It's basically like I've just swaggered, you know, been swaggered here. That's not good, because if Tiny Wings slaps herself in the face here, that's pretty much going to be good night for Dragonite. But we actually get off the extreme speed and pop this Milotic, which is great because, like I said, hitting ourselves in the face with a +2 confusion would have sucked. And he goes out to his Noivern here, which is going to die to Stealth Rocks, and I'm not sure if he remembered that or if he just wanted to go out and kind of get this thing done and out of the way. And that was the end of the game, actually. So, yeah, he had to go put that back out, and so that was it. Good job, Nick. I don't really know who you are, but I've got this battle saved. If you remember this, make sure that Nick, if you see this, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, and we'll get you credit for it. We'll put your Twitter link in the description below. But anyways, guys, make sure you follow me on Twitter if you want to see more of this. Keep in touch. If you want a chance to get on one of these battles, that's probably where I'm going to be reaching out here pretty soon. Once we actually get subscribers and things like that, we actually have 0 right now at the time of filming this. So hopefully by the time this gets uploaded, we have a couple, or at least, you know, something. But make sure if you like this, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. And that being said, this is Pallet Town Smeargle signing out.